There was a kerfuffle last week when a Y Combinator startup, Pair AI, announced their launch of an AI coding editor. It turned out to be just a mashup of two open source projects, VS Code and Continue, but Pair AI released it under a proprietary license. Pair AI founder Frying Pan had to say this on the X platform: Dawg, I ChatGPT'd the license. We busy building are in right now and can't be bothered with legal. I'm going to observe a moment of silence now for the demise of both entrepreneurship and the English language.
Heather thinks about software.
Now, the code for Continue was under the Apache 2.0 license, and that's a permissive license. So you can put Apache 2.0 code into a proprietary product. That wasn't the problem. But what you should not do is ignore the notice requirements of the license. The Apache 2 license is a very hard license to violate indeed, but this company managed to do it. They could not be bothered with legal or with the rights of the programmers on whose work they were free riding. Their cut and paste was probably also a trademark violation, but let's lay that aside. It would have been amusing if the authors of the code had told Pair AI that their license was terminated for breach. The X comments even suggest this, tagging the Continue developers. That would at least have required Pair AI to spin off a new entity to practice the license. But the authors apparently showed some restraint. Why? Well, more below. There are many possible takeaways from this pathetic incident, including: don't ChatGPT your license. Don't use ChatGPT as a verb either. If you do, by the way, the meaning of that verb is up. Don't start a post with dog. Pro tip: ChatGPT can write posts for you if you feel incapable of spelling or communicating like an adult. Pair AI is a Y Combinator company. If you're not familiar, Y Combinator, or Y!C, was started as a founder-first organization. The founder-first movement was a reaction to venture capital during the internet boom and put emphasis on self-determination by company founders. Companies like Facebook and Google were the first poster children for this movement. YC is an incubator. An incubator tends to back raw startups and provides them with basic organizational help in addition to funding. In exchange, it takes a share of the equity of the company, the current deal being 7% for $500,000. This is not a great bargain for the company, actually, but it can make or break a startup. Compare this to VCs, who usually pay more and take a higher ownership stake, often including a board seat and other corporate control rights. Incubators are pretty common now, but YC was the pioneer. YC has been wildly successful, having helped launch companies like Dropbox, Airbnb, Stripe, Coinbase, and DoorDash. And no, it's not part of Yahoo, despite the similarity in names, the exclamation point being a mathematical symbol for combination. Paul Graham, its founder, came from a company that was sold to Yahoo. YC was once run by Sam Altman of OpenAI fame. Over time, the branding of YC has opened doors for its companies, who often get funded based on little more than being accepted by the program. These days, the pendulum has swung back a bit from the founder-first movement after the excesses of CEOs from companies like FTX, Uber, WeWork, and Theranos. Professional investors are supposed to exercise their ownership stake to rein in self-destructive business practices by founders. But these were all VC-backed companies too, and VCs have their share of missteps as well. The latitude of those rogue founders was fueled by the founder-first movement. In some cases, like Uber, the investors stepped in to save the company. In others, the company imploded. And in all of them, some people on the sidelines were asking, who is doing diligence on these companies? It's a good question. VCs, who are investing other people's money, are expected to exercise critical thought when making investments. Incubators, too, though they may be more likely to be risking their own money. And that's why this YC kerfuffle is so disappointing. These days, they seem to be completely indiscriminate about who they accept. Perhaps this is inevitable, given they have recently doubled the number of cohorts they accept into the program each year. What started as an idea based on founder self-determination is now just a machine. TechCrunch reported that YC had already funded 2 other AI code editors before Pair AI. Now, VCs are not generally expected to fund competing entities, but the rules for incubators are not as clear. And the thing is, Continue is also a YC company. So at the end of the day, one YC company ripped off the other, and that's probably why they showed some restraint. So let's add one more takeaway. Don't invest in YC startups, at least not without doing a lot of homework, because YC is definitely not doing it for you. A link to a good article in TechCrunch appears in the description. Liking and subscribing makes me think more.
Heather thinks about software.